for our team. We're a good Michigan State team that I've got a tremendous amount of respect for their team and obviously the program. I would like to say this. When you get into a league, it can be pretty obviously competitive and pretty combative, and guys can get isolated. But Tom has been an unbelievable friend, resource, mentor, whatever you want to call, to me. He really has. And I've called him on a number of occasions and asked his advice on things and tried to pick his brain. And we were even texting last night after we both lost, back and forth while they were on the bus. So there's just, I just really appreciate that from a guy who's a Hall of Famer, who's one of the best to ever do it. And he is, he's one of the best to ever do it. So I just wanted to, publicly say that. He means a ton to me. And I'm sure he's not gonna want to talk to me for a minute, but I look forward to us reconnecting, because he's really, it's a special relationship for me. So good win for our guys, really happy for our team, really happy for Joey. Really happy for Joey.
When we talked to Joey, he said that he made the point to guys that the sun was going to come up and that things are never as bad as maybe they seem in the moment. To go from where you were 48 hours ago to where you are right now, did you learn anything about this team's mental makeup to shake off a loss like that, and also Kyle being out and being shorthanded against a team like this team? Yeah.
I think, Adam, to be honest with you, I knew the matchup the other night was going to be a really hard one based on seeing them on film. And not that I didn't think this was going to be hard. I knew this one was going to be a hard one too. But, you look at like a team like Nebraska, you look at their numbers and the season and kind of what their record is, and it's just not indicative of their talent level or kind of how they were playing at the moment. So I think you have to look at that. I mean, no one did to Penn State what those guys did to Penn State on the road. And they've started to really play well, and they're talented. So I knew once Kyle went out, because it didn't allow us to be as switchable defensively as I would have liked to have been when they went small. I knew that was going to be a real challenge. So I think when I watched the film, I wasn't as alarmed. I was disappointed because I thought defensively we still have a long ways to go. I feel like that after tonight's second half as well. But I wasn't as alarmed maybe as people might have thought I would be. And I think with this game, I'm excited, I'm happy, I feel great about it, I'm happy for our guys, but I also know we have work to do to get better if we're gonna, play well on Sunday.
Even given all that, this could have spun another way. And
Sure.
Looking at a really bad stretch to end the season, especially like I said, being out Kyle.
Yeah.
What did it take for your guys to take some of those lessons and take advantage of those matchups, and find a way to ride Joey Brun to a win?
I think some really, it was an important film session for us yesterday. I didn't think we trusted the pass offensively at all. I didn't think we trusted each other defensively, and I didn't think we were connected defensively much of the game at all. And we weren't in a good frame of mind. But having said that, we were also playing a team that was playing really well. I just think we had to have some kind of internal conversations about things both we need to do better. But I've not really doubted this group to respond this year. We haven't been in that position before where we've lost 2 in a row, and we've also are down 2 really important players. So I think it was a little bit to me like, okay, how are we going to respond tonight? Because it's a difficult thing to be in.
Chris, you were talking about after the Nebraska game, the lack of offensive connectedness that you guys had, and I'm curious about what these past 48 hours were like in terms of watching that and kind of what led to kind of the offensive explosion you guys had.
A lot of film work where we just missed making the right pass, And it's not, I don't think it was because of selfishness. I think it was more a byproduct of guys really trying hard to win.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you press and you really try hard to win, and you force the issue, it doesn't end up working out. And I thought we had too many times we forced the issue, really in the last 2 games, and we didn't trust each other enough. And we also didn't make some open shots. In the Maryland game, we did not make some open shots, and we made some open shots here today.
And was there a sigh of relief from that 13-0 run to start? Did you see kind of like that offensive momentum?
No, you're never relieved in the first 4 minutes of the game. You know, I mean, it's nice to see us make some open shots, but I think that was good. But it's you know, you're never relaxing at that moment.
To what degree did Joey surprise you today?
You know, I'm just so happy for the kid. I don't know that he surprised me with his ability to score because I've seen that for a couple years and I've seen it in practice. And the reality is we've had a little bit of depth there, so it's kind of forced him to the bench more than I would have liked, and I'm sure more than he would have liked. But it's an unbelievable testament to the kid. And when you think about it, he's had multiple DNPs, coach's decision. He's been as invested in our team as anybody on our team. I mean, he's just been invested as EJ Liddell, as Kyle Young, as our captains, fully invested. And I think it's a great sign of character. And I've said that about the kid. You know, I've said it. He's got tremendous maturity, tremendous character. And I'm just really happy for this moment for him. The kid's had, you know, when you lose a dad, and, you know, we were right there with him, you know, that changes you. And I'm really happy for him.
So when you get a guy from the portal who has his profile, you're competing with other people for him. You obviously had a relationship with him. And I would assume you paint a vision of what his role will be. And I'm assuming it's not been what you painted it as. How do you, if I'm right, how do you then, I mean, how does that make you feel as the season goes along?
It's
given
hard.
What you've had with him in the past.
Yeah, I didn't try to exaggerate what his role was going to be. It's a good question. I didn't try to exaggerate what his role was going to be, but I'm sure, you know, he didn't necessarily know that there were times where he wouldn't play, you know. So he's handled it with incredible maturity and he stayed ready. And I think there was probably a point in the season where he just said, "Hey, listen, I'm all in with the Buckeyes. This is my final year. I'm going to do this the right way. I'm all in." And he's been incredible on scout team. He's been on scout team now for 2/3 of the season. He and Jimmy both. And he and Jimmy Sotos have been unbelievable on scout team. Like, energized, compete. Coach, when do you need us there? It's a testament to Jimmy Sotos and Joey. It really is.
You talk about being so happy for him. I know you're in the middle of a Big Ten matchup, but when you hear the fans chanting Joey, and every time he touches the ball, they're screaming. Could you feel that a little bit as a coach? Did that pick the team up?
Oh, I'm sure it did. Yeah, they loved it. His teammates loved it. You should have seen them in the locker room. I mean, they loved it. I don't know what this is. I have no idea what all that is. I still don't know. I don't know. I guess I got to ask now what it is. But they were all doing it, and they did it because Joey is doing it. So, you know, when Zed dunks, he raises the roof, and now when Joey scores, he does this. So it must be a 5-man thing. But I don't know what it is, but they can keep doing it as long as he's playing like this. They were really happy for him, and so was I.
You talked so much about finding other scorers on this team, and you said a lot this season you want Jamar to shoot.
Yeah.
Were you happy with what you saw today?
Yeah, he's just got to take the right ones, you know. I just think he's so used to just playing off of others, and I'm going to have to remind him every game, you know, because the last two teams really didn't guard him much, and he can't be out there if they can't guard him. They're not going to guard him, and they should guard him because he's a good shooter. So, you know, we can't play 5-on-4, we can't play 5-on-3, 3-on-5. It's not going to lead to good offense.
Coach, tonight you had 20 points off 13 takeaways. You only gave up 3 points off of your 10 mistakes. I know a lot of times games can swing when you're looking at those numbers.
Yeah.
How pleased were you with kind of the way you responded when you guys struggled and the way you made them pay for the mistakes?
Yeah, I thought we did a good job converting off turnovers. I thought we did a really good job converting off their turnovers. I thought we were really good in transition. And we know they're much different at home. Their pace is different at home, and their energy is different at home. But bottom line is, I thought we did a good job with that. We did a good job for the most part taking care of the ball. and being really efficient offensively. My biggest complaint is I didn't like our second half defensive effort. That's my biggest frustration with tonight that we'll address in film tomorrow. But offensively, we were really good.
You guys got one more now. I was taking care of business against Michigan right now, and obviously you don't play Illinois this weekend. Given the injuries you guys have,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you guys know when Kyle or Zed will be back. How valuable, how important is it to one win, but then on Sunday,
Yeah.
but more importantly, get that double bye, so maybe it gives those two an extra day for at least one of those guys.
Yeah, it's important for a lot of reasons, and you mentioned them there. And we'll probably talk about that. I don't want to overdo it because I want to focus on us, the things that I think are important that would put us in that position versus just the outcome. But certainly that there's some important stuff with that, with our injury situation. I don't know when those guys are going to be back right now. I really couldn't give you an update on when they're going to be back. So yeah, it's important. Yeah, it's important because it's obviously not the be all end all. I want to improve in the areas we need to improve in as we head to the postseason.
Chris, Joey's going to get the headlines tonight, but you got offensive contributions from a number of guys. Defense, first half at least, guys were making some plays. I think most people would have thought EJ and Malachi had to carry you guys back to a win, but it was kind of across the board. Is that really what this team needs to be?
Yes. Yeah, it has to be that. I think in crunch time, we know where it's probably going to be in a couple guys' hands, but they have to make the right play in those situations and pass to the open man. But I think we just pressed too much offensively. The last two games, and we didn't trust the pass enough. We just didn't trust the pass enough, and we have to. And we need more balance.
And you mentioned Joey's kind of been behind other guys. Assuming these guys come back, what do you do with him now that he's had a game like this and shown what he can do?
What I'll say to you about this was also a good matchup for him. And Joey, and he knows this, he's got to continue to defend the post better, and the biggest thing for him, he's got his ball screen defense. But certainly he's earned the opportunity to, and we're going to need him here, certainly this next few games until those guys get back, or even if they get back. Even if they get back the next game.
Did you come into this because of the matchup, and Hunter just had a big game against him the other night? Did you come in thinking you could run stuff for Joey the way you guys started to, I guess, throughout the course of the game?
Yes.
And were you, I don't know if surprised is the right word, like he gave the ball, he did what he wanted, but he handled that workload about as well as he could.
He did. Yeah, Bill, we did come in thinking that he was going to be a guy we were actually going to run stuff for. Partly because we've seen it in practice. We've seen him score consistently in practice. So we did feel like he was capable of that. We just had to get him to his spots. Now, I think he was probably even better than I thought, but we did go in saying we need to utilize him.
And I guess I'm not asking you to speak for Tom necessarily, but I'm sure you've been in situations where a guy you probably didn't prepare for much just kind of went off on your team.
Yeah.
Like, what is that like as a coach as you're trying to figure out, like, where did this guy come from? How do we stop him?
He knows him. I think he, I don't know how he would feel, whether he would say surprised or not. Joey played well against him when he was at Indiana, and they played. I think he had maybe 14 and 6 game against him. So I think Tom's aware of him. Tom's probably saying, I don't know what Holt's doing, not playing him. Okay, what an idiot. That's probably what Tom's thinking. But I think I don't know how surprised he was. But he might have been surprised how much we went to him. What's your thing?
We asked Coach Izzo about Jamari. He kind of said, he hit 4 threes in the first half. He said something like, if I had known that he hit 4 threes, I'd bet my life against that or something. In the first half, are you drawing up shots for him? And in previous games, are you drawing those up, or are you just telling him, just be opportunistic. If it's there, if they sag back, just do it?
Yeah, we thought they were going to dig hard off of him in the post and do what other teams have done these last couple games, and really a lot in league play. And we just have tried to show him on film, you're open. They have to pass to you. You've got to shoot it. It's that simple. You got to get up on the line. They have to pass to you. You have to shoot it. Now he took a couple in transition, maybe that were a little bit, surprising to me, but he was in a good rhythm. But, yeah, I might have thought, hey, he's gonna make 4 threes in this game. I wouldn't have guessed in the first
Is
half.
there an aspect of his game that you thought you were getting when you pulled him out of the portal, or is that something that you've kind of learned as the season's gone on?
Yeah, we did think he could be a good 3-point shooter, yes. Because he showed that his last year against us. We played there last year, and he made, I think, 3 or 4 in the game. He's got good touch. It's just a matter of his shot prep has to get there. So we did feel like that was an aspect. We thought, playmaking, he wasn't going to be able to maybe do some of the things that like us, CJ or Dwayne could do, but we felt like he was going to be able to catch and shoot, be a real threat. He's got to continue to do that.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, non-conference game against Duke, you guys dominated from beginning to end, and taking down the #1 team in the country. But things has changed. Injuries. Big Ten conference tournament is coming up. I know everybody's talking about Joey and whatnot. It's only one game, but what I saw tonight was something that was incredible. Because obviously the fans speak for itself. But what some of the adjustment can you guys make? Because usually the bench players come up big, but I know you guys were outscored tonight 36-3. But the inside of the paint was incredible with
Yeah.
Joey's presence. So what adjustment can you guys
With our
make?
bench play, you're saying?
Not just bench players, but some of the adjustment that can be made when it comes to the conference and then the Big Ten conference.
I think it's that. We have to trust the pass more offensively, and we've got to be positionally better defensively, and we have to finish and rebound the ball better. Those are really the things we're putting in front of our guys that we have to do better with. Those are the biggest things. And I think if we do that, we'll put ourselves in better position, for sure.